Good day, everyone, and welcome to episode number 19 in our series of Smart City Plan. I'm online today, having done as I said I would do in the last episode, which is looking down the bottom left-hand side. The traffic was getting out of hand. No, that's not what we were doing. What we said would happen would be that I would go off camera and I would progress our city to the point where we had something more to do than just watching me build stuff for a minute. And we're there. We've gone from, oh my gosh, was it 13 something thousand up to 16 plus thousand. Now, what have I done? Bringing you up to date. So we just pause the game for a minuet. First of all, let's just check our mail, do the administrative function here. Traffic in this city at the moment is an absolute nightmare. It's just not even worthwhile considering it because your road options are limited to a road and you can slow things down and, add noise barriers and stuff, but you can't make them bigger. So traffic management has to come back to public transport. But we'll get to that in a minute. So, as you can see, we need more industrial zones, and boy, do we need industrial zones. There's a 98% demand for industry and commercial zone 100%. And in the meantime, I've been adding farms and I've been adding replacements for industry and I've been adding commercial zones. And still the demand is this high. So, we'll come to that as well. Traffic, we know. Money situation, we're doing pretty good actually, and you will note that happiness is now up to the mid-90s. Unemployment, however, has skyrocketed. So, big issues there. Power plant is running at full capacity. Now, in our last game episode, we knew that, hello, this is new. Hang on. How do you not have power? Whoa, you're off the grid, aren't you? Yeah, okay, hold on. We need to put you back on the grid. How's the water treatment plant thing going? It's going really well, actually. Okay, I'm just going to put this guy back on the grid because that's an unnecessary problem, really. And I think we can do this. I like to be neat and tidy about this stuff, so I'm going to handle it this way. I love that. It makes a 90-degree turn and there's nothing to facilitate the turn. Brilliant. Let's just spark that up for a minute. There you go. Is that better? No, that's not better. Do you have to go across the road? That's a bit of a thing. There you go, we went across the road. How's that? And why are you out of electricity? This building has no... It's right next to a power station. Power used 100%. Is it not? That's impossible. That is impossible. Unless, of course, it's not even connecting. Is it not connecting? Is for some reason that not connecting to there? Alright, look at that. That's why. Goose. Really? Wow, that's just not very nice. Use capacity 90. That's earthquakes. That's been there because of earthquakes. The other thing I might point out, well, we're just talking about earthquakes, is that's new. And down here, one of the things I did was I bulldozed all of this and all of this because what had happened is that during the earthquake, the buildings were there, right, and they became abandoned. And I'm looking at these buildings saying, why are you abandoned? There's no reason for you to be abandoned. And then so I thought, okay, well, the easiest thing to do, spend the money, bulldoze the buildings, clear everything out, start again. which I did. And the minute I bulldozed the buildings, what was underneath the buildings was all this up here, the green that you now see where my cursor is going on the, this side of the road, had turned into water. So you couldn't see it because the buildings were on top of it, which I don't think is a very good design thing. It's a design problem in the game where they did something with the ground and, of course, didn't have the ongoing effect of it affecting the buildings that were sitting on top of it. So until you actually bulldozed the buildings, you couldn't tell what the problem was. So that was not very good, but fix that up. Sorry, I just had to turn the microphone off there for a second because I had a bit of a cough. And I'm learning to do that now instead of post-edit. So you get a more natural recording, sort of, while I'm doing this, as opposed to trying to deal with it in post-editing, post-production editing. Ooh, like that jargon. See? You stay in this game long enough, you pick up some jargon. So while I was off camera, apart from all that, right, I also was up here and doing things up here. I came down here and I put in more farms and I put in more commercial buildings, and I've also added a couple of offices. Now, I just want to talk very quickly about industry for a minute. As you know, when you've been following the game, right, industry has some different things. You get the industrial zone, which is, your basic industry tile. Then you can have an office zone, which costs more per tile, but it's an alternative to industry. And then you get agriculture, again, an alternative to industry. So when it says industry, you have a choice of 3 things you can put there for industry, which, that's fair. But, don't do that. But when you go and have a look at different things, you get some very different results. Now here, for example, is an industry building, but it's got 122 workers in it, which is pretty good. Actually, I'm going to pause the game for a minute because the mail's getting away from us. 122. But if you go and look at a farm, for example, that tile there, well, how many tiles is that? 1, 2, 3. That's 2 tiles there, or 4. Actually, it's 4 square tiles. 20 workers. And then if you go out to the actual paddocks, it's 2 workers. Paddocks, fields. Depends where you are, I suppose. It's 2 workers. So what you can see is you have alternatives, of course, but those alternatives provide very different employment outcomes. And I'm guessing because that's really all it is, that these demands are linked to jobs, right? So if you wanted to have a farming community supporting a large city, you would need an awful lot of farms to do it. The drawback, of course, between your pure industrial and your farmland is, of course, your pollution. And it's huge, because if you look over here in farms, 0 pollution. You look over here at industry, massive pollution. And the other thing you might get, which you do get, is a lot of noise. But you certainly get good employment. Your alternative, number 3 option, is offices, which is this guy. So here you get 60, right? And here, 10. So it's kind of, I say that kind of, because if you add up the tiles it takes for these and the tiles it takes for these, you go, this is your lowest employer, this is your mid-range employer, and this is your biggest employer. However, what I did do as an experiment was I put some offices down here somewhere. I think that's an office, right? If you put an office in an area like this, where you have high residential, there's 120 employees right there, or workers. So it does become a good option in these high-rise areas. So that's something worth noting. So I've been doing that. Now, the other thing is that we've also gone, as I said, from, whatever it was, 13,000, 14,000 to 16,000 population, which has done some unlocks. So the first set of unlocks we got were actually a policy. And we have a new policy as well because we made it, hypertube tax. We also have hypertubes, by the way, but let's come back to that. So the first unlock I got was around about 15,000, which were two stadiums, one being football, otherwise known as soccer, and the other one being American football, which pretty much is only played in America. Maybe gridiron, I don't know, whatever it is. Overall, in terms of the world, not a particularly popular sport, really. Anyway, but there you have it. So we've got those, and I'm actually have worked out where I want to put the football stadium, and we'll come back to that when we go to build that. And the other thing we got at 16,000, or just over 16,000, was the hypertube, which I'm so keen to put in, like seriously keen to put in. I have no idea what it will do, and I want to put one in and see what we can do with it. But that's that. So that's where we're up to. That's what I've done, and here we are. So let's go back and finish off the mail. We have a new policy, hypertube tax. Taxes using the hypertube, thus making it possible, for example, that only rich people are able to use this type of transportation. Yeah. I mean, public transport, right, should be relatively accessible to everyone, despite the method you use. And new buildings are available. We get the hypertube. Reduced pressure tube in which the hypertube train can move from station to station. Hypertube station, right, okay. More industrial zones. Traffic's getting out of hand. Weekly report. Making money, 96% happiness. I think we fixed up our power plant problem. Traffic, weekly report. Still doing well. Need more employment. Traffic is out of hand. There you have it. So, first of all, I'd like to... let's go and have a look at the hypertube for a minute. Because we can always come back and adjust these. Taxes using the hypertube does make it possible for okay. 10% is okay. I think 10% is reasonable. We want people to pay for it. We don't want the government just, And of course it's above ground. Interesting. What's our property tax at? Tax rate is 4%. Yeah, that's not too bad. Corporate tax is at 27%. Nice. Engine-related vehicles. Yeah, okay. We put in, by the way, I forgot to mention, but I put in, actually I'm going to raise that. We did put in a policy called Green Living Walls, which enforces the installation of vertical gardens for larger buildings in the city, also known as living walls, which are plants growing along walls. Sounds fine. Providing thermal insulation, acoustic protection, means for urban gardening and alleviating the sick building syndrome, which I have no idea what a sick building syndrome is, but that's fine. And public transport overall is at 10%, is reduced or even free. The more developed and cost-effective the public transport system is, the less the need for individual traffic, which reduces personal spending for transport of the population as well as ecological damage. But the higher the cost reduction, the more expensive this is for the city, of course. Well, we've got it at 10, and traffic is really an issue. So I'm going to double it and put it up to 20, just to see if that helps. And there you are. So, first of all, let's deal with our stadium. So, having a look at the stadium, it is a really good leisure facility. Look at the range, and here I am pointing at the screen again, from where you see the stadium moving up to the left-hand top of the projection. It's a huge range, and I've had a look around at various positions, and I put them out on the fringes, of course. 3/4 of it get lost because it's in the farming district, so you want as much of it as you can, like close to where population's going to be. So for me, without, putting it in the middle of everything, which I don't really want to do, I don't really want that to be the centre point of our city. Developing down here gives us, in our corporate speak, pretty good bang for our buck. Basically because we're going to go, this way is going to be residential, this way and this way is going to be residential, and there's going to be some down here before we get to farming. So it's a reasonable use of, where we're at. So the first thing I'm going to do is road this up like we have done with our other areas, bearing in mind too that we are most assuredly going to be changing this, and we're going to fill in the water part because we've got so much money in the bank, $88 million. It's not like we're going to run out of cash any tick of the clock. So we're just going to fill this in. So we I won't complete the road system at the moment, but I think we just put the stadium in. Now it's $2 million. I'm going to put it slightly more this way. Actually, am I? Yeah, because then I can put something on that side. That's my plan. I'll run it this way. Actually, I wonder how much noise it's going to produce. There is actually a good question. How much noise are you going to produce? Are you going to show us straight off the bat? No noise. I find that hard to believe. But anyway, okay. There you are. We have a stadium in. Now, the other thing I want to look at, really excited about, are the hypertubes, because I have no idea how they work. Reduced boom, right? And obviously they travel from point A to point B. I'm guessing. What are you, by the way? You're a cinema. So we got a cinema there. So it would make sense if we hypertube, let's say down this road. I don't even know if you can go along a road. Go past the stadium and then see where we end up. Maybe loop around all these roads with a hypertube. I don't know. Can we do that? I don't know. Let's have a go, shall we? Have a go. Oh, look how much space you take up. Oh, but look how much area you cover. You get the train station in there. You get, and you do not go on the road, do you? This is going to be problematic. Actually, what comes after a hypertube? Is there anything after a hypertube? Subway. Oops. Subway. All right, so okay, so where can you put a hypertube? You can't put it on a road where there's a bus stop. Oh, that's interesting. So it has to bypass bus stops. Oh, that's not going to be good, is it? But I can put it above a road. Okay. Oh, this is going to be really interesting. All right, let's put it there. Right, so you cover all the way to the other side of the stadium, right? So to get maximum coverage, we need to put the next hypertube about there, somewhere in there. In fact, that would be ideal coverage. And of course, what are you? Oh, you've got issues anyway. So wiping you out is actually not going to be that big a deal for us. Okay? So of course, but the other thing is, of course, we don't know how much noise the hypertube is going to make. Now, why? Oh, I know why. Yeah, I know why. Now, what are you again? Oh, I'm going to have to move the stadium. Oh, no, I could run it through the... Oh, look at that. What a coincidence. The church is there. All right. This is where everything starts getting super tricky. Of course it does. Does a church make noise? No. Does a church make happiness? Well, obviously not. Let's go through everything. Land value's high. Traffic's awful. Public transport's good. Pollution. Noise. Right. Healthcare. We're going to have to move. We might as well just stop mucking around. We're going to have to move the church. So I'm going to build a new church, which is in here, leisure and religion. And I'm going to put it, where am I going to put it? Where's the centrepiece of our city, actually? That's a good question. I think it's there, isn't it? No. Where is it? Is that it? No. It's got a park on this side of the square. There it is. That's the centrepiece. I'm going to put the church in there for maximum coverage. Just down here. Okay, and we're going to remove this church. Because I'm going to redo this whole thing. Actually, I'm going to redo this whole thing. So I'm going to do this. And then we're going to end up like doing this a lot, is my feeling. Can we go across there? Okay. Yeah, I think we'll be doing a lot of this, rejigging our city, as it were. We're going to put in the hypertube right there. It still doesn't. Why doesn't it like it? Are you in the way? Must be. All right, let's run this for a second. Maybe it's the cars that are left there. Something's stopping it. I can't tell what it is. Well, you're just going to have to go away. We'll put the hypertube in there. Yeah, it was you after all. Okay. Okay. All right, we're going to stop it again because now we've just made everything run out of power. All right, here we go. Hypertube. Now, if the hypertube comes out of there and goes onto the roadway and then travels along the roadway, actually it's working now, I think. No, it stops because there's a bus stop. So we're going to have to remove the bus stop. Where is the bus stop? Where's the bus stop? Is that a bus stop? Or a tram stop? Oh gosh. Please don't make it a tram stop. The annoying thing about the trams is that when you delete a road, you end up having to put the trams back in. So if I go along here, is there another bus stop? Or was it a tram stop? Well, according to this, there's nothing further along this. Okay, so, no, it doesn't like you. Now, what's there? What? Oh, gosh, can't see a thing. There are some drawbacks. Then a tram stop or a bus stop? No, it's a tram stop. There are some things about the game that just fall short of where you would really like it to be, which is unfortunate, but yeah, it's trams. Great. Not so good. Okay, so we're getting rid of trams from this area, apparently. Yeah, that's kind of a shame because the whole tram system ran that way, didn't it? Oh well, you know what? Can't be helped. Including the buildings on it, yes. So we're going to replace you with a street and a tram line. Okay, and then we're going to carry on with the hypertube. Okay, down to, there's another one right there. Is it a tram stop? The answer is yes, it is. I can see it from here, which is a shame because it's right outside the football stadium. That would have been ideal. But there you have it. Not to be, I'm afraid. So I imagine then that these public transport systems are not complementary. You have one or the other, I'm guessing. But, you know, we wanted a hypertube. So by golly gosh, we got one. Now where is the hypertube station? There it is. Let's go from the other end now. Oh, there's a station right there. Okay. Okay, put a road in. Put a tram line in. Just put one there just to be on the safe side. And go back to hypertubing. Now what? Is there something else there? What else is there? A bus stop? You know what? I don't know. And quite frankly, don't really care. Because all I want is my hypertube. You have to move the old infrastructure away. I mean, it's romantic and all that stuff sometimes, but other times it's just in the way of progress. And progress, after all, is what we're all about here at Grumpota, the city of the future. There you go. Hypertube. No electricity and no water. Well, good for us. So what do you think you would let's just move that along for a bit. And let's have a look at a few things like noise. Yeah, a little bit noisy. So I think office, maybe. Yeah, I think office. Because we do need some zones. And probably another one in there, like that. certainly two. Oh, two there. That'll go. Okay, so we got that going again. We got no water in our football stadium, which is not good at all, because we do want the boys and girls to be able to drink. Okay. Oh, look at that! It's full. Okay, hang on. I think we have to get a thumbnail of this, because this is our big achievement for today. Be nice if we could get a hypertube line going through. Oh, there it goes. Hang on, we need to be tricky and catch. Oh, it's empty again. That's not really good. Come on. Oh, there goes the hypertube. No. Be nice if we could get a full stadium. There we go. All right, we're going to do this. This is going to be our thumbnail. I like it. Actually, how much? Oh, look at that. Whoa. Okay, no, we'll do that. That's our thumbnail, everyone. That's good. And I would have to say, having got the thumbnail, that I'm not a real fan of the hypertube graphic, but there you go. 40,000. What? 40,000 a month? Whoa. What effect does that have on anything? Holy dolly. That's a lot of money. All right. I'm going to go on for just a few minutes more, because I want to try and get this, the commerce and the industry under control a bit, or get us a bit more of it. Along here, I've been putting commercial and a mix of farm, which I think I'll do that anyway. Let's keep going down to the end a bit. Commercial. 1, 2, 3. Right. Ooh, now what's in there that I can't see? I can't see what I can't see. What is that? Something. Okay. There you go. I'll start this up now. We'll put the farming in. Actually, yeah, we'll put the farming in. There is every possibility that we will be changing this up, because of wanting to do and fit other things in. And that's, oh, wow, we took care of the commercial. That's great. We haven't taken care of industrial though. So we were working out here, or I was working out here, if I can find it again. And I believe office, residential. Yep, this seemed to have been a good outcome. So I'm going to put some more office space around here to see if we can't get that demand curve down and the employment up to more like full employment. But it really is filling up our city quite quickly. Now, let's go back, check the mail. Some buildings don't. Power plant running at full capacity. Where are you? Really? I didn't even know you were there. Why did I put 2 there? Ah, to power these. That's what they're for. And you are not connected to any other power grid? I find that hard to imagine. Let's go over here for a tick. 20%. Now they all should be at something. 20%. 20%. Yeah, so you being at full capacity kind of doesn't make any sense. Where are you again? So you're connected to something that's not connected to the rest of the world. Why is that? I don't know why, but I think it's got something to do with you. That's an office. What are you? You're an office. Lots of offices around here. Tell you what I'm going to do. Just because I think you're being annoying. 3. What are you? You're an office too. Why is that area grey? Oh, I know why it's grey. Look at that. We're at a road. My gosh. Oh, and look at that. That's going to be seriously annoying. Where's trains? That'll make a big difference, won't it? Your police. Actually, what's the other coverage up here like? So police. Where's police? Police is good. What about fire? Where's fire? Could do with an improvement, you know. Fire could certainly do with an improvement. So let's have a look, see what we got in fire. We've got a large fire station, which actually, that was bad, wasn't it? Yeah, it was. Yeah, how about that? And let's check fire again. That's very good. Happiness, yeah, good. Let's go back and put some offices in there. How about that? That could be the way forward. Yep, that could be the way forward, definitely. $16,000. Okay, check the mail. Whoa, we spent more money than we made. That doesn't happen very often, actually. The citizens need more industrial or related zones to build their industry or other workplaces. Yep. Where? Oh, it's gone. Well, there was a fire, but we fixed it. March for our kids. March for our kids. No, oh, yeah, all right, but I don't really care. Traffic is out of hand. Protests, yeah, fine. 16,000. We seem to be stagnating in terms of what we're doing. But. Industry. Oh, we got industry down here too. Oh, okay. Well, okay. What's the capacity like for water? 64%. Well, what have we got going on in here? That's a farm. Farms are industrial. What's your problem? All right, let's put some more. Actually, let's what do we got in the midst here? Commercial. Why don't we come back up here and put some more offices in, I think. That's going to be, I think. Now, how about noise? Just before we do this, let's check noise. Because these guys create a bit of noise. Yeah, they do. So I think we'll put offices in here. And we'll leave those there for the minute, but we'll just put a couple of offices in. Yep. And then we can do the same over here. It's not even denting it. Look at that. The demand is huge. All right, well, let's move up this way then. So what have we got over here? I think we can get rid of these guys and put some offices in here. You commercial building? Yeah, you are. I'll leave you there for a minute. See if we can get in offices. $16,100. Weekly report. Well, we can carry on down here, I think. We've got commercial there. What are you? Office, office, office. Well, we've got a lot of office down here. And office area. Huh. Look at that. That's something. Right, okay. Well, there's nothing much for it except to just keep building. And you are what? Commercial. Let's wait and see how much space we get in there. 60 workers. Building has no water. Oh, I wasn't expecting that. Oh yeah, okay. Okay, got water now. You know what? I'm going to put another high den in. But not next to that commercial building. I will. I'll put another office in that area, except for you, who are being annoying and being there. Yeah. And in actual fact, we can do this. All built by the same builder, no doubt, with only 40 workers in there and 142 in the high density filled up pretty quickly. So I think I might actually add some more high den. That'll certainly help move the population up a bit more. Oh, traffic is an issue. Really? Oh, man. I don't know if the subway is going to be a help to us. I don't think the hypertube is a big help. Rails for the subway. Remove the subway and the subway station. Oh, well, yeah. I might have to revisit public transport because we are not doing well with traffic. Like, at all. Wow, and look at the demands for commercial again. Dilly-dilly. It's getting way too hard to see what we're doing with the buildings and everything. Just way too difficult. So how much noise does a hospital produce? Not that much. In fact, hardly any. So I'm going to put some more high density around the hospital. Drive up the population of the city. Oh. Now what are you? Large police station. Hang on. Oh, okay. All right. Okay, that's fine. We can survive with that. We'll put some more high density here, maybe. Yep. And check our mail. Did I not fix you? Really? Did I not fix you? You've got water. Stop whinging. Oh, you're a bank. You're the something bank. But you're an office, really. Well, I guess that's what a bank is. Traffic, yes, and the weekly report, yes. And happiness is still up around the mid-90s, so that's fine. Well, ladies and gentlemen, at 46 minutes in, I think we've done an episode. And it's been a good one, too. Although I feel that it's getting difficult to push the pop-up. But that's what we're going to do offline, and when I come back, we'll have expanded up to a new level where we can do something else. I really don't know, though, because we're at 16. How on earth are we going to get 50,000 people in here with the jobs and everything that we need to keep things going? I think we're going to end up with another complete redesign of the city. That's my feeling, because I don't see how we're going to squeeze 50,000 people in here. But you never know. We'll wait and see. So the future looks challenging. But thank you very much for joining me today. I do hope you will return to Grumpy's Gamer, and I will look forward to seeing you when you do that. In the meantime, stay well and look after yourselves, and I'll see you all later. Bye-bye.